Up next on Usala Radio. Up next on Usala Radio. The Wall. Presenting a new show The Wall. Parents and teenagers navigating through difficult topics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Edwin Desamore.
What's up, everybody? This is Edwin Desamore. You're listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons, only on Usala Radio. This is Edwin Desamore once again. I'm in the studio with Elijah Des and Chick Hawk in the background, and we have special guests today, and I'm really thrilled about today's topic. But before we get into the topic, I want to introduce our guests. Who's in the studio with us today? Bobby. Now, I know you by something else, Bobby Joe.
That's true.
Welcome, Bobby Joe. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have some folks in the studio. Who do we have?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, how old are you?
11.
11. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to hearing what you have to say on this topic. Are you going to be real with us today?
Yeah.
I'm talking about real. You're not going to get scared because mom's sitting here, right? No? Nobody sees you nodding. They got to hear you.
He made a tough face, too.
Yeah, tough face. All right.
Did you see that?
All right. And who else do we have in the studio with us?
Elijah.
Elijah. So we have two Elijahs in the studio today. Welcome, Elijah. And who's in the background hiding behind the seat? Anybody want to introduce her?
That's
Destiny.
Destiny.
Destiny. I heard her talk a little bit, but she seems like she has look. She's giggling and laughing, but she seems feisty. So hopefully we could get her on the mic later on.
Yeah, I want to get this straight. We have to call each Elijah both Elijahs by a different.
Are you
thing.
sure?
Elijah Des.
So nobody gets confused.
Elijah Des.
I like to say
Eli,
you kill two birds with
Elijah.
one stone. You say Elijah, it's okay enough.
Yeah, right,
Look.
Elijah's.
Eli
Yeah.
and Elijah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, how about my name? Boop. No.
Look, Eli and Elijah.
We're gonna
Boom.
stick with Elijah Des. Everybody knows Elijah Des, right?
No.
And
No.
Eli.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that
Elijah
is?
Des.
Elijah Des.
Oh.
All right, Elijah. What's on the topic introduction today, Elijah? Elijah Des.
On the Wall this week is a discussion about the way we treat and view boys versus girls as they grow into teenagers. Do we have one set of rules for boys and a different set of rules for girls? Or do we set the same standards and expectation for boys and girls as they grow up? Remember, the end of the show should be the beginning of your conversations. Don't be afraid to tear down the wall.
Don't be afraid to tear down the wall. Remember, the end of the show should be the beginning of your conversations. So we're trying to have these conversations that we feel comfortable with at home, or something that we struggle with or we are afraid to talk about. So please stay tuned with us, because we're going to get into that. You know, is there a double standard? Are you a parent at home who struggles with your children when they feel as though you treat the other one better or different or special just because they are a girl or a boy?
Dun, dun, dun.
For those watching on social media, please join us and let us know your thoughts on this and your opinions. So we're going to jump into the random question of the day. What is the random question of the day, Elijah? Des.
What part of the human face is your favorite and why?
What part of the human face is your favorite and why? Anybody want to take a shot at this first?
I always want to go last.
You want to go last?
You always want to go last?
All right.
Sometimes
Jeremiah, he's going first.
The favorite part on my face is my nose, because you could breathe, and if you can't breathe, then you could lose your oxygen and die.
I'm hanging with Jeremiah. He wants to survive.
He's a
The
survivor.
favorite part is the nose, because he wants to breathe.
Now I'm
That's a
ready
good
to
one.
argue. No. I know. I said I was gonna be last. So is it alright if I take this right away?
Okay.
Mouth. Favorite part is the mouth.
Why is it?
You can still breathe with your mouth,
And eat.
and you could talk,
He said anything.
and you could eat, and you could drink. All things that you need to do to survive. Oh, and look who just came in. I had to help with the gala.
Yeah, we have a big gala. We're going to talk about that in a few.
Well, let me tell you the question so you can know. What part of the human face is your favorite and why?
My face.
Part of the face, not face.
Part of the face?
Mm-hmm.
My
Which
lips.
part? And
I would
why?
say that.
Not your mouth.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's just it.
I think everybody's complimenting on their own faces. That what the
Yeah,
question
well,
is?
everybody. I noticed that everybody's complimenting on their own faces.
Exactly.
What is
I took it
your
as-
favorite part? Yeah, that's what I'm taking it as on just a person's face. What is your favorite part that you notice on someone when you're looking at their face?
Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, their eyes.
Yeah, my eyes.
He goes right back to his eyes. Oh my!
Hold on.
He is fixated on himself.
Because I have like a hazel in me, so like
He needs
it's
a mirror.
actually I like my eyes a lot.
There we
See?
go again.
My
What?
eye,
Okay.
not your eyes.
It's not about you. No.
Oh no, I like my eyes. I'm sorry. I like it better than everybody. For, real, for real.
You're gonna learn that about Eddie during the show.
Okay. He likes his eyes.
Eli.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'd also say eyes as well because they can come in like a whole bunch of different colors. Like, some people have like red or
It's like a
I
hazel.
don't know.
That's a
any
good
different
response.
So you rather have eyes than mouths?
type. Eyes look way
That's not
better
the
than
question,
mouth.
though. I don't
mouth.
think that's not about
That, now we're
survival.
gonna make it that. Now that's how we're gonna make the
I'd
question.
rather be blind.
What part of your face would you rather have than anything else?
Mouth.
Eyes. Let's get the
Well,
teeth
he
out
has
my
a
throat.
right to his opinion. He has a right. We can't get angry about that.
To be honest, without any part of our face, we would die.
I mean, no, if you don't have your eyes.
If we only had our nose, we ain't gonna see something. We're gonna walk right into some line or something.
You could be
And
deaf
then-
and blind, and you could have a dog that's gonna take you anywhere.
I don't know where this
Yeah,
question
we're
is taking
talking
us.
about these.
Listen, the question's about the question. Let me repeat this. What part of the human face is your favorite and why? You know, when you look at someone, you might say, "Hey, I like cheeks. I like foreheads. I like chins." I like.
What is yours?
For me, I think it's the mouth.
Think-
There's something about the mouth, the lips. When someone smiles,
That's
there's
true.
something powerful in that. You know.
Let me put in the
So,
one.
and no offense to folks that got messed up choppers. It's very important to go to the dentist
That's messed
because I know it is messed up, but guess what though? For young people
All right, tell them.
and older people, also go to the dentist because I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they like, yink, and it's like, oh my god.
It's kind of weird for like young people to have their teeth weird too.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
that's what he
young
said.
people
But
go through it
that's-
because
yeah.
they're.
That's
You're
what we
still
have for you.
forming and
normal.
growing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
normal for kids. You're like, oh, how cute.
But for
They
like
missing 3 teeth.
teenagers,
But as you get
Not when
older,
you're, like,
it's not.
54, you know.
When
it's
old
like-
people have 2 teeth, you wanna run away.
Excuse me.
You have a favorite? Your smile.
Your smile. There we go. When other people?
Yeah.
You like their smile? That's good. I like the eyes.
You like
I
the
think
eyes?
the eyes say a lot. You can speak with your eyes. You can communicate with the eyes. And
oh yeah, you're right.
I'm a-
well, I like speaking to someone and looking directly into their eyes because I think you can get a lot from that.
Yeah.
If you can see their eyes.
No, eyes are powerful. Eyes are powerful. If you really notice, it's very difficult for people to look at each other.
Mm-hmm. Direct eye
They,
contact.
they actually have the saying that men have the best conversations while they're driving because they don't have to look at each other.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
I've heard that study
Even if
before.
two men, I mean, it is kind of weird. Like 2 men keep staring at each other. Like I don't
Yeah,
mind
like,
staring at you,
they
you
just
know, and
stare
like
at
all
each
of you
other.
guys, you know.
You know, but I think it's okay. For me, I take it as more like, hey, there's no complex. It's more respect when we look at
That's
each
how
other
I
talking.
feel. I always feel it's more of a thing
Because I kind of feel
respect.
strange when people start to look down and look around, which
Yes.
it happens. It doesn't mean, but it's kind of like, okay, am I doing something wrong?
yeah.
Do I got a boogie in my
Yeah.
nose?
Or
You know what I
Mario
mean?
not looking at me, I get it.
you know, did I just spit in the eye? You know, what am I doing? Does my breath stink right now? Like, you know, all types of
Am I
stuff.
missing some teeth?
Yep. Yep.
Why
So,
you look at me like for that?
Oh,
She said-
you have your teeth.
all right, Elijah, weekly update.
I got you. On Thursday of this week, the school district of Philadelphia announced they will relocate 2 high schools, Ben Franklin High School and Science Leadership Academy, because their building closed due to finding
Asbestos.
asbestos on the property. The asbestos was found 2 weeks ago in the building that includes school. I don't know what's up with me. The move will displace 1,000 students. One of the schools, all staff and students, will go to a vacant former charter school building. The second school will be housed in 2 locations: parts of the school district building on Broad Street and a Shaman Synagogue.
All right. If the school district is using the money they have to keep their buildings safe and their students learning, how could they miss such a huge health issue in one of their buildings when it comes to asbestos? This is serious.
Maybe to cover up, like, fixing it to where covering, not necessarily looking inside the vents, I guess, or the walls.
Yeah.
Covering up the mold, or obviously the asbestos was a lot. Or where was it? Did they find
to have an immediate
an evacuation? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Before we explain what asbestos is to everybody, if nobody knows, not everybody knows.
I don't know.
So want to explain it?
Asbestos is kind of like if I'm correct, like mold and buildup in the building. And if you breathe, it causes cancer and all types of health issues. At the end of the day, I just know it's bad.
Yes.
So I'm not an expert. I wish I had someone in here for this.
Well, you see a lot of the commercials too.
Yeah.
The asbestos.
And it's a shame there's no real detector for it. I don't believe so. But I think folks could walk through a building and see it, or look at it. So I wish I had an expert here to talk on that, because if
I believe there's animals that search for that too, right? And can find that, figure that out. They walk in a building and sense it. Asbestos.
A lot of them eat it.
Yeah.
really.
It's just walk up to it and just be like, ooh, food, eats it. I think dies after that.
Man, you are interesting, man. I gotta have you on this. He jumps right in there.
We gotta get into some science about mold.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some real good information on this asbestos and
but that
mold.
could hurt a lot of people.
Yeah,
that could hurt a lot of people.
And it's a shame because I hear about this throughout the years and growing up, when you hear about this asbestos and people who have suffered from it and died from it and caught major health issues because of it.
Yeah.
But you would think that, like you said again, if kids are in a building, you would have someone constantly inspecting the building.
It's not like an animal, like a dog or something. It's a fungus. It's like a bacteria that eats mold.
Wow.
It's like this.
Oh, wow.
Really
well, for those who can't see, if you Google it.
An animal that eats mold?
Oh, you're talking about an animal that eats mold.
You have a few of them in your house? No.
No, not in your house. Why would they be in your house?
I don't know. We're talking about mold in the school.
Well, if anybody out there have a little bit more information on asbestos, please let us know on social media. Reach out to us so we can speak on. At the end of the day, it's dangerous.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's dangerous. And if it's something that is dangerous, and I'm not trying to criticize or bash anyone, the district, anybody like that, but you would think if our children are in the building, you should have someone constantly checking the building. When was the last time you checked the building?
Should have been checked.
When's the last time you had an inspection? I'm sure they have inspections on this type of stuff.
That's what I said. It had to been a cover-up, or they had to have the
inspections. Or somebody not doing their job.
And someone's definitely not doing their job.
Yeah, so pretty interesting.
Very dangerous.
All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about ethical dilemmas. Are we ready for that, Eddie?
Yep.
All right, stay tuned. Ethical dilemmas gets pretty deep. This is where the argument starts. Stay tuned, everybody.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Anthony Desmore, and you're listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons live on Usala Radio. Today's topic is there a difference the way we treat our boys from our girls or our girls from our boys? Is there a double standard? But right now, on The Wall is Ethical Dilemmas. Eddie, take us away.
All right. So you promised a friend that you would go to the movies with him on Saturday. After you made the promise, the most popular kid in school invites you to a party at his house. On the same day, I'm sorry. You're thrilled to be invited and you really want to go to this party. But your friend did not receive an invitation. So you cancel? Should you cancel or keep your commitment to go to the movies? That's an easy one.
Wow.
Well, you think it's easy?
I think it's easy. It's pretty tough for young people to go through. So
Not because
You made a
Actually,
promise to
so
the
if
popular
he invited
kid.
you to
Yeah.
the party, right? And it's my man's that we're gonna go to the movies and stuff like that, I'll be like, yo, can he come with me? Because, that's my man's. I want him to come with me. And if he says no, then I'm like, listen, then I can't go then.
all right,
Because
let's pause real quick. For the older people that are listening, his man's is his friend.
Man is
Man's
his
is
best
like
friend.
His friend, his
Like
close
his
friend.
We're using working
Go ahead,
again.
go ahead.
just
You can
some
proceed. Go
slang.
ahead.
So if he can't come and you're telling me that like he can't come at all, then I'm not gonna go to the party because it can't be that like popular. If it's popular, it's popular. But at the end of the day, he's always gonna be by my side, and that guy's not gonna pay for nothing, or he's never gonna be on my side.
Right.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Like he won't give you anything
All right.
for
Come
coming.
on. I'm interested to hear Jeremiah here.
Like he won't the famous person won't do anything for you. He's just inviting you to a party, but your friend is like taking you to the movies to like hang out with him. That's something better because you're gonna hang out with him and he might like get you like stuff if you don't have money like that. So then
He's a more committed friend.
if you go to like the famous kid and you're like not even friends with him, yeah, he probably
It's
won't
gonna
do
be a
anything
boring
for
party.
you. Yeah.
So who would you choose?
Movies. I'll choose movies.
With your friend?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a good friend there. Okay.
That sounds
fake it.
committed.
Not
go
saying
to
if
the
you choose
party.
different, not saying that you're not a good friend. Do you have anything different? What
want
would
a
you
good-
choose? I'm asking the quiet young lady hiding behind Jeremiah in the chair that you cannot hear. So she just gave
Come
some
to the
sign
mic.
language. She said
Come to the mic.
no.
No,
Uh,
she did say she answered.
Alright.
Who would you choose?
My friend.
She would choose her friend. And that is powerful coming from a girl. And here we go. Here I go stereotyping, right? Because a lot of times girls will go with what's popular.
True that.
Young
yeah.
girls.
That's true.
That's
But that's
true.
fake.
Thank you for you know what? The reason I'm saying
See?
thank you is challenging me on it. She just said that's fake. Why am I fake on it? Is your opportunity to defend? Come on. Why am I fake?
I guess that would be.
Did
Is
you
it
call
true?
him
That would
fake?
be a
Is it
fake friend.
true that girls? Right, I'm asking. Is it true that girls pick being more popular, worry about being popular than their friends? Is it true? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Is it true? What? So you just confirmed my stereotype.
But,
Right?
but that's
But-
fake.
Why is it fake?
Because even though the people who's popular, they won't do nothing for you, but your friends would.
It's really true.
Okay. It is fake, but you don't do that, right?
No.
But is it true that girls do that more than boys?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Really? Oh, wow. Is there anybody out there willing to challenge that? Anybody out there willing to challenge that?
I may, but I think it's because of a different genre and era.
Okay.
You know,
Okay,
I
well-
never was the.
What do you would have, back in your time,
Okay, now.
back in your day?
Slow down there.
Bobby Joe.
Slow down there.
What was it like back in your day?
Really? Oh, he's got jokes. He's got jokes. Let me loosen up a little
I
bit.
don't know about that at that time.
I think I would have just went to the movies and hung out. I'm not too much with the popular crowd, and I always hung by myself and knew everybody, knew every crowd, but always stayed by myself. And to this day, it's not about popularity. It's about,
People you surround yourself with.
exactly. Yeah, you got to be right with who you have
Would you-
around you.
Who would you pick?
I'd probably pick going to the movies with my friend because, like, the same reason that you guys all said. the popular kid won't really help you out in the long run, but your friend will.
Wow.
That's crazy. That when it's got, I guess that's stereotypical too.
I have my rules for friendships.
You have rules for friendships.
Here's how it's gonna go. If you're my friend, you respect me, I'll respect you. You're nice to me, I'm nice to you. You're gonna do stuff for me, I'm gonna do stuff for you. But we're not talking illegal stuff. I'm gonna do stuff for you. So what I'm saying is, you're gonna treat me, how do I say this, good, like you're gonna be the awesome friend, then you're my friend. I'm gonna treat you like an awesome friend too. If you're not gonna treat me that way, you're not my friend. I'm not gonna try and talk to you. We're not gonna be all buddy-buddy. Those are my rules. And let's say I do have friends. One invites me to a party, it's popular, and one invites me to the movies. I'm telling you this. It depends on who has treated me better over the years. Not just years, who's been treating me better.
Wow, he has a point there because sometimes your friend that you think is your friend could be treating you like crap. We talked about healthy relationships.
Wait.
Not so long ago.
What? But
That's
think
why
about
he
it.
said he has rules.
You might not go to the party, but your friend from the movies might go to the party without you. So you don't know their opinion, but you doing you.
But does that change you? You shouldn't. This is my opinion. Or you shouldn't allow other people's opinions or actions to change yours. If you're a true person, you stick to your guns on what you're going to do.
That's exactly was my.
And I grew up. For those who listen, I grew up with Bobby Joe.
Yeah, let's see how.
I grew up with Bobby Joe. We were kids in the neighborhood, and 10 years later, as adults, we're still.
Yeah, 10 years later.
10 years later, we're
It's
still
not 10 years later. You ain't no 23.
No.
Okay. All right, relax, kids.
No, but we grew up in an era where we didn't really have much. We didn't have a lot what you kids have today as far as games, phones, and stuff like that. We just had each other.
I don't even think, not to say anything, but the parents were not us parents. I think we're the cool parents, we're the committed parents. We are in our kids' face. I think if we had more of that, but we had each other.
Yeah.
We had to have each other. We had friendship.
So there was no way of really selling out because when we went back to the neighborhood, that's all we had and who we grew up with.
Our block was the block.
And back in the day, like when you guys in your time and stuff like that, it was also like you knew who your real friends were because at the end of the day, like right now in this generation is about phones. So if someone don't text you, they get mad already. Or like they see, you're not checking up on me. So
that is a different. Well,
it
was totally different then. Like we had arguments, and we would definitely.
I know that, but what I'm saying
call
is
each other, not knock on your door for a few days.
You didn't have phones and stuff like that to really connect with each other. So like back then,
we had to go
just,
knock on doors.
Yeah, so you just knock on the door, say what's up, how you doing, and you know who your real friends were from that time.
I have a question. Could any of you do that nowadays?
What?
No. Could any of you kids go walk to a door and just knock on a door and say, "Can you be my friend? Would you be my friend?"
We used to do that.
I did that to Nikki. I did it to everybody.
Yeah, I think we, I'll put my age out there a little bit. You talking about over 40 years ago, over 30-something years ago. Yeah. But, there was a saying back then, right now, people unfriend you, people stop following you, or people stop liking your stuff. There was a saying when I came up, they used to call you a flat lever. Right? Flat lever, basically you stop hanging with somebody, right? Like say if me and Elijah were hanging out, and then the popular kid, Eddie, comes along, and then next Eddie's like, hey, let's go do this. And I go leave to hang out with Eddie, and I leave Elijah flat.
You're going to be that kid.
Yeah, and I leave Elijah flat by himself. They still use that word? Flat leaver? Oh, wow.
Some people still use it.
Do you know what it means? The kids.
Yeah, some of them do.
I guess they're Googling it. And that was another thing. When we were younger, we only knew what our neighbor knew. If Miss Mary knew about what grew on that tree, that's all we knew. Yeah. We didn't have the books. I mean, we had to go to the library or encyclopedias.
Yeah.
What? We actually, what y'all were saying, knock on the door and make some friends. Me and Libby actually did that. We, this was before 10. Probably before 11. Before 11.
Before 11 what? For those who are
before
listening.
10. We would.
How old are you now?
I'm 13.
Yeah, so
okay.
It's only a couple years.
Hey, be quiet, Eddie.
Yeah, you still young for
Everybody gets older.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So we would always knock on the door to our neighbor or just a friend and be like, "You want to come outside, play hide and seek tag, or just talk?" I remember our originalist. I hope this word, and I use that right. Our most original, trustworthy friend that we had on our block was our neighbor Chris. He still lives right next to us, but he's moving out, sadly. He would always come outside with us. He would always play with us. I remember sometimes we would even bring food outside, board games, and we would call it picnics and stuff. And we'll just have fun. And then I remember where every single time on the weekends when the lights would go out, and then almost a lot of the kids would come out from their houses. We would all run around in the dark playing hide and seek and tag.
See,
I remember those were the best moments ever.
That's a good memory.
I'm glad you said that. I think a lot of our young folks are missing that because now the only way they play together is online.
You're right.
Right? You never meet each other. Everybody's running around in a maze online. And when I grew up, we used to literally run around the block, run around the neighborhood, behind cars, and climbing up trees. And
when your parents called you, it traveled down the street to the corner to the next corner. It's like your mom called you.
Yeah, my mom didn't. Yeah,
around the corner.
Yeah,
it was like your mom called you, and then it's like, yo, Eddie's mom called you.
Yeah, you better get home.
Mom called you. Eddie, your mom called you.
You better get home. My mom, I actually, and Mom, please forgive me when I say this, but I thought she had the largest voice, the biggest mouth in the neighborhood because I could be 2 blocks down and I knew her voice. So if I was away in the neighborhood and she would just yell, she called me Eddie. So she would be like, Eddie! Right? And I'm like, Holt. And everybody turns around, everybody knows whose mom's voice is.
That was our mass
text.
That
was your mom, yeah. That was my text to come home.
Everybody. My mom used to yell them all. Billy Joe, Bob Joe, Kimmy.
Yep.
And through the whole neighborhood, everybody your mom called y'all. I'm like,
yeah, and if your friends know.
And the street lights came on.
Yep. Yeah, and the street lights came on.
Get to that block.
You guys they're looking at us like, what world did you come from?
That's how it worked for us too.
That's what happens in the real world though, not on the cell phone.
Yeah, but
reality.
So we gonna have to ask Tati because Tati just came in. So Tati, what would you do? Hang out with a popular person or chill? Like you just made a promise to one of your girlfriends and was like, yo, I'm gonna hang out with you, go to the movies. Or would you hang out with a popular kid?
My girlfriend, that's my friend. Like, I'm not gonna, just because you're popular doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be all buddy with you. No, exactly. Like, if my friend comes first, if I knew my friend for a while, even though it might not be a while, like, that's still my friend at the end of the day because that popular kid later on in life is probably gonna be popular. Is it probably gonna be my friend?
Same thing, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
You ready to argue?
No.
I think that's
no. I'm ready to make a statement. I'm ready to cast judgment. I think girls worry about their popular side, about being popular. Is it true?
I believe
girls worry about that more than boys.
I smell cat.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I believe we have two strong females in here. No. I mean, I do believe that because I believe the entities are different. But yeah, I do have a daughter that would definitely go for the popular. Yes, right. Serenity would definitely.
Now, females are more worried about being popular than boys. Is that true? Yes or no?
Yeah, but I'm not like that.
Wow, we have 2 girls saying that. Wow. We have 2 girls saying that, but they say they're not like that.
I'm hearing that too, and I'm like, I'm confused because it's like, but then again, I totally understand because I'm popular, but not. It's like everybody knows me, but then I'm like, I don't.
I mean, me personally, like, it's happened to me. Not me, but, like, so one of my old friends that I've known since middle school, since 2nd grade, she stopped talking to me because I introduced her to one of my friends that was so-called famous or known on Instagram. She stopped talking to me because of her.
Oh, wow.
And all because
Destiny, right?
me and the one girl stopped talking. So she basically just cut me off because the other girl didn't like me.
Oh, well, that's not right.
That's a straight novella, boy, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
That happens so much now.
Instagram is vicious.
You could be
breaking up relationships, making relationships.
You could be friends with somebody for 8 years. Another person would come into your lives. They would do something. Friend would be like, become friends with that person. And you might not like this person so much. And so you might be like, yo...
Well, there's something
exactly
as the mature people in the room. I'm gonna say you guys not mature as the older people. We evolve, so sometimes it's not a bad thing. When you have friends, believe it or not, sometimes you evolve, like, you know, your interests start to change. Like, you start to like different things. It's not that because you're still friends with that person, but you will find that you start to be attracted to different things and want to be involved with different things, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that because you meet new people. It's not that you're selling out.
And I believe that every issue is the same issue. It just changes a little bit because you guys are going to go through the same thing because we are, as a family, went through the same thing as a so-called friend, an adult, you know, and then we went through some things. But being the adult, what she's done, it was disrespectful. So I cut her off. And I tell my kids, you can do this as a child, too.
That's okay.
You know, it's okay, you know, because you don't allow these people or this negative environment around you. And, you know.
Most definitely. And your views would change.
I think the problems are the same, but they just are evolving differently, like you said.
Yeah. And when you evolve, your views would change. Like, for example.
And your friends change, and it's okay. It's fine.
Even the guys you like.
But your real friends will stay.
Look, she just left. Look, she just, her head hit the wall. Listen, I've run into plenty more women, right? I have ladies that tell me, I don't believe I used to like that guy. Oh. Right? I always hear
funny.
A woman say, I don't believe I used to like that guy, right? But you know what's so sad? Fellas, we look bad with this. I've never heard a guy say, I used to like that girl, because they be like, I still like her.
I still, yeah.
But you know, I've never heard a man say that. So this is where we have our little double standards and differences when we get into our main topic. But I've always heard, you know, I've always overheard, or women have always told me, or I always overheard the conversation. I used to like that guy. I can't believe I used to like that person.
Yes.
You know, and you even hear a young lady say that 6 months later, a year later. I think their interests change quicker than men.
And I try to teach that too as they're growing up. Like my daughter, like differences between the girls and the boys. You know, I show her, look, things change. You know, she has her little crushes, and I say, well, wait, you know what happens when you go to high school? They change. You know, your crushes change. And then you know what happens? You go to college, your crushes change. And then you turn around and be like, oh my God, I used to talk to that person.
Yep.
So I said, just let it live, let go. It'll always change.
She's just basically saying dub them.
No. Well,
next.
That's okay.
No, I mean,
that's okay.
That is not okay to the person who's getting dubbed. That is not okay.
Elijah, who hurt you, bro?
Actually, you ain't know my life. Be quiet. You the one who's in here with a whole orange juice jug. Drink it from the cap.
All right, listen, we're going to go into a commercial break. Please stay tuned. We're jumping into the main topic as soon as we get back. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Wall on Usla Radio.
I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. And even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, Maria, and she convinced me to continue my education. Just never judges. She's a true role model.
From the depths of my heart, I thank you, Maria, for being a friend and a beautiful person. No one receives a diploma alone, and I'm honored to share this moment with you. Thank you.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Edwin Desmore. You're listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons, only on USLA Radio. All right, now, we're jumping into the main topic. It's on. All right. The universal symbols for the bathroom show the woman in a skirt and a man in pants, a.k.a. no shirt. AKA no skirt. AKA also known as no skirt, right? Do you think we have different expectations for boy children than we do for girl children? Because, now that I think about it, we never really look at the bathroom symbol in that way. I believe some people do, but we just look at it, okay, this is a girl's bathroom because it shows a skirt, and here's the guy's bathroom because he wears pants. Now, are we looking at different expectations? Can a girl wear pants? Can a girl wear a skirt?
I totally get it. Like, it's just telling you that that's the woman's bath. That's a symbol.
I just thought it was a symbol as a female because that's the way you can dictate.
Because if you
female.
put females, they could wear jeans. Like, it's
So what are you
not
gonna
a
put a
problem.
hat on her? I mean, I think this is like the basic symbolization of a girl, female, and male.
If she doesn't have a skirt and she's like wearing like a shirt and like pants.
But how could you tell in this picture?
Because her arms.
Oh, you got this.
Oh, he's leaning.
Hold on.
Because her arms are like this.
We got it. We got Elijah talking. Here we go.
Say now. I think they just did that because it's like no other way for them to actually prove that it's a boy and a girl. Like it's probably the most obvious thing. Because like how other way you're gonna signify that it's gonna be a boy or a girl?
Right. The basic symbols of one has a dress and one has pants.
No, because you can see by their arms. Their arm is like this, but the man's arm is like this.
Oh, he's taking out the body stature.
Natural.
Yeah, I would get that.
But basically, you can tell that's a woman and that's a man, right?
Now, people listening to this or watching this they're never gonna go to the bathroom the same. They're gonna look at this. And
They're gonna be looking at it like.
This is pretty deep because there are people that will make a big deal out of this.
There are.
And that's their right.
But how would they symbolize that?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
There was a controversy about the wheelchair one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I said,
what's wrong with the wheelchair one?
Exactly.
It was something that they had. I don't know.
They just mess with everybody now.
All right. When babies are born in the hospital, name cards are given to identify the child by name. Blue cards are for the male babies, and pink cards are for the female babies. Excuse me. In a study that was looking at different ways we act towards newborn babies according to their gender, it was found that we use different descriptions for boys than we do for girls. Several male newborns were dressed in pink, and people were told they were girls. These babies were described as adorable, sweet, and cute. Several female newborns were dressed in blue, and people were told they were boys. These babies were described as tough, strong, and stubborn.
Wow.
This is deep.
Just for the clothing. Just for the clothing on the baby.
Or
So
folks assuming that the baby was a girl.
Looking at someone's eyes. Yeah. Basically looking at someone's face and describing a book by its cover.
Why do you think we treat boys differently than girls?
That's
matter of fact, I'm gonna ask another question here. I'm gonna ask the girls first. Are boys treated different? Or matter of fact, are girls treated different than the boys? If so, please explain.
I feel as though that they do, only because me going through everything that I've gone through and seeing what I've seen, like, boys are treated with more, how would you say this? Like, say Eddie was to say, oh, I'm going to go out, and it's like 10:30 at night. They're allowed to go out because he's a guy. But if it's a girl, which is understandable, but if it's a girl, then it's like, no, you can't go out. It's late.
Wow.
Being the fact that they think that the guy can take care of themselves,
wow,
but a girl can't.
Whoa. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it personally because I know I could take care of myself.
Do you think it's fair?
Why you always try to cover me?
Do you think it's fair?
No.
Okay. Oh, we got some. Ooh,
right.
Touch the nerve here.
Right.
Hold on. Destiny. Do you feel any different? Oh, all right. She's holding her own. She's protecting herself right now. She's like, get that mic away from me.
Well, I'm gonna like back up.
All right, before you get to before you talk now, Bobby Joe, is there a difference?
As a mother, now I don't have a difference between raising my kids because I teach them all the same. I believe it's a basic thing that I have to teach the kids, you know, who to trust, who not to trust, and what to do and what not to do. And I believe it's more on trust as a mother. If I can trust that you're going to make the right decision, I believe I could let you live a little bit easier, if that makes any sense. But as a protective mother, I feel as though if you don't have all that knowledge, or if you're kind of naive, I feel as though I have to push it in a little bit harder. But I believe that I'm kind of equal on all my kids, girls and boys. You know, like you, certain age for this, certain age requirement for that, you know, but I'm pretty equal on all of them because I cannot teach them to be a boy, a man, but I can teach them the morals and the respect and all that other good stuff, you know, as much as I can as a parent.
I applaud you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Somebody said
Was that
but
good?
and so.
Oh, right. Hey.
So, what I think, like, how girls should be treated like boys is because, like, boys, they think that, like, they can handle anything and, like, go out anytime. It's, like, basically, like, what she said. But then, like, girls, they should be able to do that because they should, like...
Again, I believe it's more about trust.
They should, like, hold stuff. Like, hold, like, pepper spray, like, something like that.
Oh,
If,
for
like,
protect themselves outside, yeah.
I do.
Got attacked.
Yeah, but I taught my boys that too. I taught my boys growing up. Just because you're a male, don't think they will not take you or snatch you. They're taking grown people nowadays. They can take a child, no matter how big you are. So
Why are they taking grown people?
it happens all the time.
See, I'm gonna agree on Tati on this one. Cause you see, what I always told, like, you know, I always tell most people when they say, "Oh, when you have a kid, what's gonna," I always say that I would treat my daughter different from my son. Reason why is because I know how guys think. I know what, you know, their mentality is. And for guys, like she said, if my son said, "Hey, Dad, can I go out at 10 o'clock at night?" And I trust him, like you said, it has to be a trust. And I trust him, I'd be like, yeah, no problem. But if it was my daughter, I wouldn't, because I know how guys are. They'll try to snatch you up. They'll do anything.
That's where I was saying, but to teach your child equally. Because if I teach my daughter, I have the same fears for my son than I do for my daughter. You know, I want the female to respect him and teach him just as well as I want the male to respect her and treat her just as well.
Like,
but I need as a boy and a girl to learn that the same rules apply. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where when people think girls and boys are different, I think girls think differently than boys. So it's all about.
Do you think there's a difference?
Wait, we'll fight again. like I heard the topic, but it was like I think a lot of things would matter.
Boys
like,
and girls
vary,
get treated differently.
Yeah.
Like how like the parents are and stuff, and like what you said, how they trust them. Like
I think
feel
it's more
like-
of what the child perceives, or what the child gives a parent. Do you agree with that?
No,
You know, if your
and this
child-
is you're actually compliment what he's saying. It's
Yeah.
all about it varies with the parents. So I like this guy here, man.
Oh, and
I'm gonna hire him as a bodyguard also. 'Cause he looks tough to me.
and also, it's like one thing before I even let my son out, especially at night. I always want to know that they can always protect themselves by any means necessary. Like if someone like comes up on them and stuff like that, I want to know that he knows how to fight. Also, my daughter, I will also teach her how to defend herself. If I trust her that she can handle herself, then by all means I'll let her do her. But as long as I know where she's at, we're good.
I can disagree with some of that little bit because we have parents trusting that their boys will be okay once they let them out later. We have more boys. See, everybody's just thinking about defending and protecting themselves. We have more boys getting killed out here than girls. We have more boys out here getting arrested.
Because they
and in
believe,
trouble.
I believe they feel at a certain age that they should be strong enough and be a man enough and wise enough. And I believe that every child needs guidance, no matter your age.
And trust.
Yeah, and they should trust their parents and be able to
And their
communicate.
trust.
Yes.
All right, double standards for teenagers.
Wait, I wanted to show my
Okay,
feelings.
go ahead, Elijah. Elijah Des.
Skip me. All right. This does not just happen with teens. Still today, girls get treated differently. Women get treated differently than men. Wages, the different money.
Yeah.
Let's say a man gets paid 28 cents per hour. A woman would get paid
Like 9.
20
It should
cents
be
per
like
hour.
like 15 or
I'm serious.
20.
This happens so much still.
So it's still going on. There's still a double standard today.
There's still companies where they believe where a woman should stay at home, housekeeping, doing all this, instead of going out and getting jobs.
Oh, wait, hold
I'm
on.
glad you brought that up because it's not just companies. It's people in this world.
Exactly.
There's religion. There's politics. There's race. There's jobs. There's certain cultures that believe a woman should just be home or in the kitchen. That's where they belong.
That's what I do.
And,
That's my everyday life, so I'm cool with it.
Women, like, if they're like a mom, they would like stay in home and like clean the house. They would do everything in the house, but they don't get any like payment out of it. But
The payment is you guys. Look at you guys.
We're the one that take care of them. They housekeeping.
No, I'm glad you brought that up though.
I think I'm a good payment.
All right, double standards for teenagers. 91% of teenagers say girls get bad reputation for being sexually active. Only 42% of boys get bad reputations for being sexually active. This means being accepted by your peers is more positive for boys who are sexually active and more negative for girls who are sexually active. This is deep. Everybody's looking around. This is really deep. And this also, in my opinion, goes for adults also.
Yeah.
So, possible reason, do you agree or disagree? Boys can't get pregnant and girls can. That's what the excuse people say. Boys have less to worry about if they are in a sexual relationship, which I disagree with. Why do you think it's more accepted for boys to be involved romantically than it is for a girl? You want to give it a shot first, Bobby Joe?
Again, here we go back to me. I think I try to teach them all the same. No matter if you get yourself out there and expose yourself, I believe you're doing it to yourself and you will have the reputation. Girls do get more of a reputation. Somehow you get stereotyped differently than boys. Boys, it's more of like you said earlier, I had that one. You know, like the guys still see females attractive and the girls are like, ugh. You know, but yeah, I think girls do get more reputation and called out more than boys in that situation.
Before we let any of the young people respond to that, I just want to say, for me, raising my boys, a lot of my friends, even the male friends that I have, even from the females, but they would go up to my sons when they were younger, and I used to get irritated, and I would speak up on it. They would say, well, hey, how many girlfriends you got? And I'm like, whoa. And I'll pull them to the side, don't do that. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm just saying, what if I ask your daughter how many boyfriends she got? And they would turn red, and it looked like it's about to be a fight. Mm-hmm. What's the difference? I want my boys to grow up respecting themselves, and I want them to grow up being decent young boys. What I mean by that, not to worry about relationships now. Right. We can worry about those later on. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to adults,
yourself as an individual, it takes a long time for you kids. And once you start adding that in the mix, I think you start, going a little bit to the left on that.
Yeah, and when it comes, in my opinion, too, when it comes to adults, once you're an adult, hopefully you're able to make some positive decisions, some positive choices. So you do what you do. Mm-hmm. Nobody has a right to judge you.
Right.
As long as your decisions are healthy. Mm-hmm. And also make sure that you respect yourself. I'm talking to both parties.
Yes.
So, but for young people, and this is just my opinion, and I mentioned this before on the show, it's already hard being young. It's already hard being a teenager because you're trying to figure out what's going on with my body, what's going on with my mood swings. When you throw sex in the middle of that, oh my God,
they don't know.
Complicated everything else.
Yes.
We got older people that can't control or understand sex, but now we got young people trying to get involved with it, not being sure, and it's actually still more dangerous for the boys because there's diseases, but not only diseases. If you get someone pregnant,
yes,
you're going to be held responsible. People say no, you will be held responsible. You will pay for that somehow financially.
Yes, you will.
So that was just my own. Anybody want to give their take? Because Tatiana's ready to go.
Okay, so for me, I feel as though. Again, being through what I've gone through, seeing what I've seen, seeing kids my age, girls definitely do get a bad reputation only because they're a girl, and then everything's put onto the girl, saying how she's the one that starts it, but it's really always the guy. Like most of the time, 90% of the time, it's always the guy that like comes for the girl, who wants to talk to the girl and eventually gets her to that state. For me,
you're blaming the guy?
Yeah, I am.
But
I mean, that's from what I've seen.
This is where I try to teach my children. You are a product of your environment, and you are at the end responsible for your response.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that all guys are like that, but from what I've seen and from the people that I've met, it's usually always the guy. Usually the girl is just like chill, like.
What if I was to tell you? Because what if I was to tell you what have I observed so far in the work that I do in and out the education system outside, that girls today are more aggressive than the boys.
Yeah.
We actually have boys talking about, ew, what the heck is going on? And it's not that there's nothing wrong with the boy. They're like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. And girls are very aggressive towards the boys. So
because they feel as though that all they want to do is get into their pants. Like, honestly, that's really what it is.
How do we change that?
I don't think we can change that.
You don't think we can change that?
I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't change that. You can't.
Oh, come on. It's kind of hard because there's only one mic. I think it's more of like a 50-50 side because it's not only like the boys, but it's also the girls. And you can't really just blame only one party of it.
Yeah, Bobby boy.
But yeah, I feel like it's both sides instead of just the boys or it's just the girls because there's a lot of different people in the world. And everyone has a certain side. And yeah, I feel like it's just different in every situation.
I mean, which is understandable.
It's coming from my bodyguard.
But that's true. That's true, and I give him that. But being in this generation, that the guys really just want to build up their status and be like, oh, I did that, I did this, I did this.
But I hope you know that it was around when I was little too, right?
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm saying,
then.
It definitely has gotten worse.
So you're saying girls get the worst out of it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I think so.
I
mean, sometimes it does. Sometimes it is the girl coming for the guy, but
yeah, but still, it equally happens to everybody, bro. Literally,
what does he
next
know about
year.
This?
You know what? You know what?
Go ahead.
Come on, I'm not about to hear from you, Eddie.
Go ahead.
I think it's happening equally. One problem could be from the girl's side. Another problem could be from the boy's side. You know, the percentages might add up. It says 91%, 42%. But literally next year, it could happen where 50%, 50%. It could be the boys get 91%. And then the girls, think about how it's changing. Everybody has their own mindset. Everybody has their own ideas. Everybody thinks in a different way.
We have a couple free thinkers in here.
Yes.
So for you to say that girls get the worst out of it, you do not know what happens to boys.
Yeah, but see, I agree and disagree with Tati. Because yes, sometimes, but like the guys, they get more, they don't get a bad rep and all as girls. But at the end of the day, the guy...
Because most of the time their excuse is, oh, he's a guy.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
no, I want to jump in here real quick. I'm sorry. Guys, and I want to defend the guys right now because I'm a father. I'm a man, but I'm also a father, right? And I want to say this to the ladies because men are quick to get bashed over everything. And I'm going to put it out there. Men are quick to get bashed. You know why? Men are born with reputations. Men are born with reputations because if you can see some of the stuff we read with the expectations on how a young person supposed to be according to society, which is kind of false, right? But there are good boys out here who want to respect, who want to be a teenager or a young person who finished school. But at the end of the day, he's walking around with a stigma just because he's a boy, he's a dog. Mm-hmm. So you have a great young person who decides he wants to meet a young lady and say, hey, would you like to go to the movies or, to dinner or whatever it is? But he's already walking around with the stigma that he's a dog or...
I believe everybody should just drop them stigmas like you're saying because I believe that the girls the girls feel the same way. I believe that a female feels the same way, and I just believe that since nobody's talking about it, that everybody just feels like everybody feels the same, a different way. But everybody goes through the same feeling and the same exact emotions. We all do at a different period of time, but we don't speak about it. Like I said,
everybody's different. Everybody's, each individual is different.
Absolutely right.
And we can't categorize everyone in one
Because he sees it much differently than we do, and then everyone has their, like you said, their own opinion and own voice on it.
Oh, and so like defending the guys and stuff, you know, not to be too explicit and all, but like the girls have a part on it too, because a guy, what we call is rape if they didn't want it. But if they really wanted it, they wouldn't, you know, do it with the guy. And then that's also saying, like, you know, it's not always the guy's fault. It's not, you know, of course they want it, whatever. But the girls have a say in it, too. Because, you know, it's the opposite. And also, you know, when girls...
But I think that's a stigma, too, because I've heard growing up throughout my years that it happened to a lot of males.
Well,
and a lot of males did not speak up.
Yeah, but believe it or not, that's the next topic.
The stigmas, that's why.
That's the next topic to the next show. Believe it or not, I'm glad you brought that up because that is a whole nother conversation within itself when we're talking about rape, sexual assault, and the stigma that comes with that. So we are actually going to have some professionals on the show with us.
Well, I like these shows like this because it loosens it up and lets everybody know that the females and males, you know, we're in the same category at the end of the day.
But, you know, and we went through this before and I'm going to repeat it because you mentioned if I had a daughter, I'm going to be like this because I know how guys are, right?
I know.
Now, listen to this. And for those who are listening on social media, those who listen on Rusla, you know, I don't care how strict a father you are. You could be the strictest person on the planet. It's all about how your daughter perceives you, how you treat a woman.
Right.
Because if you walk around calling a woman or a girl a whore, a slut, or all types of names, most of the time you will find they end up dating a guy that talks to them the same way. But if you walk around and you show your child, especially your daughter, on how you respect a woman, how you talk to a woman, how you call her by her real name. Right? Because guess what? When she runs into that guy, she's going to check you from the door. She's going to be like, hold on, my father doesn't speak to anyone that way.
Yes.
Or about anyone.
Absolutely right.
So I'm not going to allow you because she's going to have standards.
You see, now I expect that from my son, too. Because as growing up, I only raised boys. I had all boys. So my standards were the same. Like the female needs to respect you. Like I said, mine are the same for my girls and my boys.
And when you say that too, is because I was also born to like say, you know how people they'll expose women out there and they'll send them videos and stuff and they put it on social media. But my dad always told me, treat women how you want your sister to be treated.
That's right.
You may not have a sister, but how would someone you like talking about your mom saying that she's...
Think about it, you had a daughter.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Yep. I wish we had more time. We only have 1 minute. I'm so sorry. Wish we had more time, but we have to go. So I'm going to end it with the quote of the day. Cooperation and respect for each other will advance human rights. Confrontation, vilification, and double standards will not. Right? We need to move forward. We need to open up our minds. I want to thank you, Bobby. I want to thank your children for coming on the show. And we have two beautiful young ladies here. You know, and when I see you ladies in the studio, the first thing that comes to my mind is I want every man to respect both of you. Any boy, any teenager. I would feel some type of way anyone looking at you any other way. But I could say that all I want to, but you have to say that about yourself.
Exactly.
So, and it goes the same for the boys. Thank you everyone for listening. This is Edwin Desmore. You were listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons only on Usla Radio. Peace out.